Would you like to see God give you a breakthrough into blessing? Maybe somebody in your family needs to see a breakthrough into blessing. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today in our daily discipleship video. If you want access to more of these videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there's hundreds of teaching videos available for you on that channel. Well, a breakthrough into blessing. I know that right now there are several members of my family that have been going through difficult, hard, challenging, frustrating times. It's been a long, hard season of difficulty, and I'm praying this year, this prayer, that God would do this work so that they may experience a breakthrough into blessing. There's some areas of my life where I am praying that God would answer this prayer, that I may experience, my wife and I may experience breakthrough into greater blessing. It was written by Moses. Think about that, 3,500 years ago. And he's praying for Israel, the people of God. And he's remembering that God's watched over them, God's protected them, but because of their sin, they have suffered and struggled, and God gone through hard times. And now he's praying, okay, it's time to move on. God, it's time to give them a breakthrough into a blessing. It's found in Psalm 90, verse 15 through 17. This is what Moses prayed. Make us glad for the days, according to the days in which you've afflicted us, the years we have seen evil. Let your work appear to your servants, and your glory to their children. And let the beauty of the Lord be upon us, and establish the work of our hands. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Well, there's several parts to this prayer. First of all, he says, make us glad in proportion to the affliction, in proportion to the evil that we've been experiencing. Think about it. Maybe they've been in this for years. Wouldn't it be great if God gave them years of blessing in place of the years of burden and difficulty? You're praying that God would make them glad in proportion to the affliction that they've suffered. He'd give them goodness, a season of goodness in proportion to the evil that they have experienced. And then he prays in verse 16, let your work appear to your servants. God's work would appear to his servants, that God may be active. I'm asking God to do something. Be at work, and be at work in such a way so it's evident and obvious. Be at work on our behalf because we're going to serve you, so make it evident and obvious that God is working with us and God is working for us. Make your work evident, God. And then he says, and your glory to your children. May your glory appear to your children. May we have a big God, and may you do some God-sized things for my family, my children, my wife and I this year. God, may your glory appear to our children in such a way so that they will see it, and our children and our children's children will never forget how big God is. Now think about it. Moses is praying this, and then it happened such that God sent 10 miraculous plagues, unbelievable miracle plagues, and then God parted the Red Sea so they could pass through on the other side. God did some massive miracles that they were to remember for generation after generation after generation. God showed his glory. His Shekinah glory was like a cloud that appeared at night and a pillar of fire. God showed his glory. I want God to show his glory to my children through my life, in their lives, to my grandchildren in their lives. God would show how big he is. And then in verse 17, let the beauty of the Lord be upon us, establish the work of our hands for us. God, bless and stabilize the ministries we're having. Bless and stabilize our businesses. Bless and stabilize our family. Bless and stabilize our finances. Bless and stabilize our health. God, establish the work of our hands. Establish the work of our hands. So, I love to pray this prayer. Sometimes I just stay on verse 15. God, make us glad for as many days as you've afflicted us. This is a power prayer that you can offer to see a breakthrough into blessing for you, your family, and your ministry.